Sorry for those technical difficulties, but now party order should be able to be included. The first car to do a lap will be Schumacher. Sam goes P1 with a 129.6. Gusty has just gone P2 with a 29.3, and then there's a big jump down to Schumacher who did a 131.4. Edge T, the next driver to complete his lap, will be a 131.303. I will be right back. go, sorry, I am back. Zola then P, so current order is Samuel Deepan P1 with 29.6, Gusty P2 with a 29.8, Zola P3 with a 30.3, Mantic P4 with 30.6, Danstop Gaming P5 on 30.6, Schumacher P6 with a 31.0, Beastian P7 with a 31.2, Edgety P8 with a 31.3, Dave P9 with a 31.8, Imperium in P10 with a 33.7, and is the last driver to have complete a lap as it stands. Everyone's starting their final lap of this qualifying session. 1.5, all think that they're safe to go through as it is. 28.8 first sector, that's a good first sector from Flavor. Oh, that's Haruga Go who has spun. This Flavor's middle sets, but it's going to be a 108.8, so that's a very good middle sector from Flavor. Comes down the hill to turn 14. Nothing more he can do now other than put his foot to the floor. Open DRS is going to be a 31.4, good enough for P9 as it stands. Next driver's putting that will be Schumacher, who does a 129.6 to go to P1. Beastian is pulling into the pits. Haruga Go didn't actually complete the lap in Q2. Dave is not up on his time. So the next driver to improve on their time will be Imperium, who has a very big snap of oversteer and then a big overcorrection. Unfortunate for himself. So that means Imperium is going out. So that means that actually Haruga is on a lap. Next driver to do a competitive lap will be XRL Flavor, as he now rounds the effective final corner. It's going to be a 131.4, just outside of improvement. Go now, coming into the final corner, foot down now to the line. What's it going to be? Will it be enough? It's going to be a 131.6, pushing Dave down. However, Dave is on a lap as it stands. Can Dave push himself back into Q3? To the line now. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 1:31.9, so just outside of Q3 for Dave. The three eliminees are Dave and Imperium, along with Goldmaker, who had a qualifying ban. So now it's going to be the fight for pole between Daft Gaming, Schumacher, Gusty, Haruka, Beastian, Mantic, Flavor, Edgety, Samuel, and Zola. First car out of the pits is the AlphaTauri of Edgety, closely followed by Schumacher, Sam, and Gusty. So he does pull over to let everyone else go. Now everyone is on track bar the two Alfa Romeos. Schumacher leading the way for drivers in Q3 to do a lap. .7 per sector for Schumacher. Or 7.4 middle sector. So we're probably looking at about a 29, like a mid to low 29. .4 it is. Gusty, however, is 1/10 up on Schumacher at the end of sector 2. Opens his DRS to the line. It's a 129.4, 500ths quicker than the Red Bull driver. Edgety now to the line does a 130.9. Deeper now does a 29.2. Downstop Gaming now rounds the final corner to 130.3. Good enough for P4 as it stands. Eastern Alpha line, it's going to be 130.9. Good enough for P5 as the order stands. So now rounds the final corner to do a 1:30.1. Kruger now rounding the final turn. So the line once again is going to be a 1 minute 31.1, the slowest lap of the day so far. Mantic Meerkat, the only driver yet to come onto track. Favour now as he opens DRS to the line, does a 130.4, good enough for P6. Question is, will we see anyone break the 89-second barrier? Do believe Gusty will be the next person to complete the lap. Two tenths up on his time. As it stands, this would be just enough to pit Sam. However, Sam is on a lap. Around the final corner, will Gusty take provisional P1? What's it going to be? It's going to be 1 minute 29.3, so 200 short, of the pole sitter as it stands, and he has invalidated his lap, so this opens the door up. Actually, I think he may well be saving his only RS. Edity is up on his time by about 3 tenths. Would be enough to promote him to P7 as it stands. It was 130.6, which does put him in P7. I've just lowered the volume by 1 click again. Mantic invalidates his lap, so that's him starting in P10 for this race. Sam will be the first of the last. Other set this is a 107.1, which is 2 tenths quicker than his time currently. Will he be able to go sub 89 seconds? We'll find out in a number of seconds. Open DRS to the line, what's it going to be? It's going to be 129.2, lost a lot of time in the final sector, perhaps due to his lack of DRS. Atlantic is in fact on another lap, because he crossed the line before the checkered flag was waved. Was a little bit deep into turn 10, that'll cost him time all the way down the straight up into turn 11. So where will this lap put Mantic Meerkat? Open up DRS now. Total line it's going to be a 1 minute 30.3. Good enough for P7, just ahead of his teammate. Zola now to the line does a 129.8, goes up into P4. Next lap to finish the lap will be XRL Flavor. What's it? It's a 30.4. Just not quite enough to improve his time. Schumacher now, can he respond? No, he can't. He must have made a mistake somewhere in his lap. Haruga now in P10 will not improve, so he will be starting from P10. So there's your grid order for the first race of the XRL season. Samuel deep on pole, Hector Augusti P2, Schumacher in P3, Zola in P4, Dadstop Gaming in P5, Mantic Meerkat in P6, Hector Flavor in P7, Edgerty in P8, Beastie and Haruga are on the 5th row of the grid. does look like the favourite tyre to start on is the mediums. It does look like Edge T will be opting to start on the hard tyre. And the facial formation lap is beginning now, which will be run in our XRL this season, as they have managed to keep it fairly glitch free. However, there is a glitch where the whole grid will get its tyre temperatures reset back down to 70 degrees, so that may be maybe reviewed at a later date. However, at least for this weekend there will be a formation lap. So the grid order for the start of this race, in reverse order, is Insane leader, the usual XRL commentator, along with Kenzie Retro. Golminator in P13, Imperium P12, Dave just missing out on Q3 in P11, Haruga Go starting the last of the top 10. Beastune starting P9, Edgety in P8, Flavor and Mantic lining up next to each other as Alfa Romeo teammates in P6 and 7 respectively. Dadstock Gaming in P5 in the Haas, Solar in P4, Schumacher in P3, Gusty in P2 and Sam in P1. See how well Sam is able to park his car on the grid. It's fairly good from him. Oh, Dad Stop Gaming got sent back. Mantic got it perfect. Flavor got disqualified. Beastion got disqualified. Harugo did it well. Dave did it well. Dominator and Insane did it well. Now here come the 5 red lights and a glitch. It's 5 red lights are on and it's lights out and away we go. And Sam gets the jump on Gusty, meaning he's able. Oh no, sorry, Gusty is ahead going into turn number 1. However, here comes Mantic Meerkat storming down the inside of both of them. It does look like there is chaos behind him. Whether he made contact to get through there, I didn't quite see because of the terrible camera angle. Zola now up into P2. So this is a great start from Mantic with P6 on the grid. Sam and Gusty both have dropped back and unfortunately lost out. Schumacher has also dropped back massively as well. Harugo is now at the back of the grid. That is Dad Stop Gaming, who has spun around and causing havoc at turn number 8 on the apex, causing Goldminator and Flavor to have to take avoiding action to go around him. Gusty is still right on the back of Zola, so perhaps he knows that this race has a long way to go and he can definitely make backup positions. Mantic with nearly a second already broken the DRS to Zola. Closest 2 cars on the moment are these two, Gusty and Zola. Imperium is already into the pits. Insane Leaders has completed his main goal of finishing the first lap, which is a positive. Dad Stop Gaming going for the move on Flavor. He's going to have the inside line. Flavor's going to send it around the outside, however the inside line just gives so much better traction of this corner. That is Samuel Deeper, who's dominant in qualifying, has spun, now dropped down to P5 behind Schumacher, who is himself is 4 seconds off the front 3. Gusty looks like it's going to go for a send down the inside into turn number 11. Zola's going to be able to hold it around the outside for now, but Gusty isn't going to give this up easy. He's going to brake later going into turn 13. However, not late enough to get the move done. (34.3) from Mantic. As now Gusty goes up into P2, able to chase after Mantic Meerkat. So he's going to have the DRS. Gusty is getting that gap down very slowly to Mantic, gained of about 3/10 on this lap. He has just done the fastest middle sector of the race. Oh, and that is Sam aground again. Drops him down to P6, nearly P7. Unlucky from Samuel Deeper, as Gusty now sets the fastest lap of the race. And he is in fact now inside DRS. However, he has had to burn a lot of his ERS, his electrical energy, just to get back inside. However, now he should be able to save it, charge his battery up and go for an attack later, at a later stage in the race. Dad Stop Gaming is very close to the back of Beastian. He's going to go for the move into turn 4. He's going to have the inside line, however brakes very early, and Moonshaw giving Beastian room on the exit of the corner. As it stands, these three are the closest three on track. As Dave gets a little snap of oversteer going into turn number 8, now into number 9, challenging downhill left hand braking zone. One of the hardest on the F1 calendar. Once again, Dave with a little snap of oversteer. The front two are beginning to drop the likes of Zola and Schumacher. Gusty now inside, comfortably inside DRS. Actually no, just outside the DRS zone of Mantic. However, Mantic now has burned up all his battery, and the first lapped car of Harugago is going to shake things up. Wow. Okay. Harugago has just taken out Zola. Which does mean there is a full course safety car. I imagine to give them time to clean up that debris. That safety car has now neutralised the field. Sam and Favour are both pitting. I don't know what to say. That was not representative of XRL. We do not condone any sort of deliberate smashing other cars out. Most of the time, that's the first time I've ever seen that happen in XRL. Aruga will be spoken to and dealt with promptly. Actually, I've just had word that wasn't even her. Oh, it wasn't even her. So it was a fraud of another driver in the league in X3. So I'm sure the admins will try to get to the bottom of what's happening. Samuel Deeper retires in the pits. So that will be, I believe that's a quali ban, unless he has a good reason. Joining the party now is XRL. I honestly have no idea. Wait, what do you mean? Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh right. I honestly have no idea who that. Fair enough. Alright, well, no, it's fine, it was unlucky. Oh no, it wasn't unlucky, it was just disrespectful and rude. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, catch it in a bit. So you weren't able to hear that, but basically, yeah, it was another account. Anyway, safety car is in. Schumacher now is into P2, chasing down the Alfa Romeo of Mantic Meerkat. Yeah, once again, we do not condone that type of driving shown by Rubigo. And they are going to be banned from the league permanently now. Anyway, back to the race at hand. The front three once again are pulling away from the pack behind. They've opened up a 2.1 second gap to Dadstop Gaming in P4, who himself has a reasonable gap to XRL Dave. Sorry, I'm just shore-shocked by the lack of cleanliness from that driver. Lack of respect for that was the owner as well, XR Zola, so we believe we know who it is, and we believe that they were targeting him. Just close to the back of Schumacher, who himself is getting close to the back of Mantic, who has burnt all his DRS, presumably trying to break the DRS of the cars ahead. But now Schumacher should have a fairly easy overtake into turn. Dave is now out of the session, and full course safety car of this race. That has triggered a pit stop from Insane, who is being held for some reason. Will any of the front three pit? And if they did, it would make sense to go on to the harder compounded tyre, as they have to use at least 2 compounds as it is a fully dry race. I do have a feeling this safety car does help Mantic, as it would have prevented the overtake. Interestingly, Flavor and Schumacher have both opted to stay out. The safety car shan't be going on this ride, it should be going in the next 2 or 3 laps. So the tyre situation is an interesting one, because Mantic Meerkat is theoretically net P1. However, should there be a safety car within the next 8 laps, they could become the front three would be the 3 vantaged cars. And so we are now back underway, and Mantic Meerkat is going to go straight past Edgerty, who was caught napping on the restart. Schumacher's going to be massively disadvantaged as Schumacher and Faber go deep into turn 1, which means the C's for Mantic. That sees Mantic go up into P1, and chaos has ensued behind him. Schumacher now has dropped down to P9. He has managed to avoid damage, I believe. I can't actually tell from this camera angle. Yeah, he has managed to avoid damage, but he has dropped down to P10, sorry. Apologies for the lack of commentary, I'm just trying to deal with some admin stuff that saw the problem. I have just blocked Harugo 91, the fraudulent Harugo. So this field has significantly split up into Mantic Meerkat's favour. He does have a 9-second lead over the next closest driver in the McLaren. Schumacher now on fresh soft tyres has spun and is in the wall. Unlucky for him. Looks like he just dropped it on traction. That does bring out a safety car, which heavily hinders and which will bring Mantic back into the clutches of the drivers behind. This has worked out perfectly for Imperium, however. So Imperium has now pitted on to relatively fresh mediums, which will give him an advantage until the end of the race. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up. Insane leader now in P4. So as far as tyres go, Mantic is on 6 lap old hards, Beeson on 6 lap old hards, Gusty is on 6 lap old hards, Insane Leader is on 7 lap old hards, Imperium is on 1 lap old mediums, Dominator is on 9 lap old mediums, Flavor is on fresh softs, Adstop Gaming is on 3 lap old hards, and Edgity is on 1 lap old soft. Insane Leader has now pit 4 fresh softs, which may go to the end of the race, but after a couple of laps will begin to overheat. And when he did join the party in qualifying, he did complain about how the softs are a terrible set of tyres. So the safety car will be ending on this lap. That the whole pack is bunched up. This is anyone's race at this point. With Imperium and Goldminator both having 3-second time penalties. And Mantic has now gone, and instantly Gusty is on the back of Beastian, who isn't going to fight this too hard. And he soars up into P2 now. Imperium does get hit behind from Goldminator, which then causes chaos behind him, which gives Beastian a comfortable 1.1 second lead over the car behind. No, sorry, that's Gusty over Beastian. That means Imperium now has got back to P7, but I still wouldn't count him out on the fresh medium compounded tyre. Goldminator gets very close to the back of Beastian going into turn 1. Maybe he'll get the run off of turn 2 and up into turn 3. He does get a very good drive off of turn 3 now. Pulls over to the right hand side. He's going to have the move done by the time they get on the apex. But Beastian did look like for a second he was going to try and come back. But it looks like he is safe and clear of Beastian. Mantic is now opening up his gap to the cars behind. Gusty is now outside of DRS. And those drivers who decided to pit for the soft compounded tyre aren't making it work as well as they perhaps would have liked. But Insane Leader is now out of the session. I maybe there was a collision between Insane and Imperium. I just invited the wrong person. Now joining the party is Insane Leader 13. Insane, go ahead and include your audio. Can you tell us exactly what happened there? I just flicked on board and I see you with a tyre hanging off, and Imperium looked like he'd made contact with you of some sort.
So the guys from about third, fourth, fifth, and sixth all were fucking on top of each other and holding each other up. And while I'm not very fast, they were taking off chunks of time through the corner, so I was closing on them. I was trying to set myself up to make a dive bomb on Flavor going into the final corner, but he was extremely, extremely slow right at the start of Sector 3 before that second to last corner. And I had to get offline to try and avoid running into the back of him. Problem is, these cars are they only run on one single line. If you take them off the ideal line, they're going around, and with soft tires, it was even worse. So I started putting the power down just because I was facing straight and I thought I was good, but no, you put the power down offline on softs and those fucking things go right around, and there was no fucking saving that thing. And I feel bad for Imperium because he had absolutely nowhere to go because he was setting up a move on me as well, and when that car snapped, it just went right in front of him. I just wanted to finish! I just wanted to bloody finish!
Well, you did finish 22 of the 29 laps. It's, you've got to start somewhere, so take the positives away as much as you can.
Yeah. Positives is that I can actually race and actually overtake. That's the positive, but not making it to at least lap 27 is a negative. But
every race has its ups and downs. You're never going to have a perfect race.
Irregardless, thanks for calling me in, and hopefully the race to the end is a little bit more interesting.
It's been an interesting race for the majority of it, to be fair. I've been trying to help the admins deal with the incident between Zoda and Haruo. So I haven't been following for the whole race, but what I have seen has been a good race so far. And that is Imperium now, who's gone around at turn 3. He's now less than a sector away from being lapped.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Have a good time.
Yeah, I wish you best of luck if you're racing next week. Oh, I didn't see, but Beastin did just get passed by Dad Stop Gaming with DRS. However, this does give Beastin a chance now to sit behind Dad Stop Gaming, charge his battery up, and go for a move later on in the race. Oh, and that is Mantic, who has gone around, locked up the rears going into turn number 10, which is so unfortunate. He's led most of the race today, but now seems it's fallen outside of his reach as Gusty inherits P1 with a 4-second lead over Mantic. To be fair, Dad Stop Gaming has been able to pull outside of the DRS of Beastian within the space of just a single lap. But for many of these drivers, this is simply practice for the main event tomorrow night. Same time tomorrow will be X3, which a large portion of these drivers will be competing in. On this channel there will be X1 at 5, I believe. And then later on in the evening will be the X2 race. Desktop Gaming is hunting down Goldmanator. By the looks of things, he is catching him ever so slightly. Yeah, he's actually, Desktop Gaming is actually within the DRS of Goldmanator. Not close enough to get a move done going into turn number 1. But if he can get a good drive off of this corner, turn number 3, he's still too far back to go for a move into turn 4. However, he is much closer this lap than what he was last lap. Here now picking up a 3-second time penalty. Does look like that this race is gusty to lose going on to the 29th and final lap of the Grand Prix. Doesn't look like Desktop Gaming is able to get close enough to overtake Goldmanator. However, Goldmanator does have a penalty and will lose the position as a result of that. Flavor does the fastest lap with a 32.3. Gusty now, as he does come through the final sector leading the race. He's had a great race, got unlucky at the start, dropping back down to P3 from P2 on the grid. But now here on lap 29, the last lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix, he comes around the final corner with a comfortable margin behind him to take the first win of the season in XRO Dev. Followed closely behind by Mantic Meerkat. Then comes Goldmanator, who does manage to stay ahead of Desktop Gaming. Beastian takes home P5. Edgerty will take home P6, followed by Flavor, who will take P7, and Imperium, who will take P8. coming into the party now is your second place driver, Mantic Meerkat. Mantic, you were leading for the majority of that race from turn 1 until lap 28 it was when you lost the lead. Take us through the race from how you saw it. Mantic Meerkat, can you hear me? Alright, we have technical difficulties with Mantic Meerkat. Meanwhile, let's talk to our third place finisher, Dadstop Gaming. You were kind of went under the radar a little bit in that race, just cruising yourself up through the grid, taking advantage of people making the mistakes. How did you think that race went for you? How did it pan out for you? Stop gaming, you there? Yeah, I can hear you. So, how did that race go from your perspective? Obviously, starting P5, arguably. Is this your, how many podiums have you had? Is this your first podium? This is your first podium. Oh, fair. Big congratulations to you then on your first podium in League Racing and XRL. Do you reckon you can carry this form on to Saudi Arabia next week? Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine first podium always is the most special, and it's always the one you always remember your first. Anyway, so I will see you next week, hopefully up front again. No problem. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning into today's stream. Tomorrow there is the three main tiers in XRL, which are which are going to be running at 5 PM for X1 on this channel, 5 PM at X3 on the second channel, and 8 PM on this channel for X2. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next